Hello student, good morning. I am Dr. Ajay Kumar Sinha, Professor of Chemistry. Today I am going to start questions, answer and explanation based on Hess law, bond energy, spontaneous and non-spontaneous reactions and entropy and the free energy change. Actually, I am discussing multiple choice questions based on chemical thermodynamics. And now I am going to start with Hess law. Now I am reading the question. According to Hess law, the enthalpy change during a chemical reaction depends upon first option, the path by which the reactants change into products. Second, the temperature of the reactants and the products. Third, the nature of the initial reactants and the final products. Fourth, the volume change accompanying the chemical reaction. Again, I am repeating the question. According to Hess law, the enthalpy change during a chemical reaction depends upon first, the path by which the reactants change into products. Second, the temperature of the reactants and the products. Third, the nature of the initial reactants and the final products. Fourth, the volume change accompanying the chemical reaction. This question you can answer within 5 seconds if you are knowing the concept. Just to think, after that I will tell the answer and explanation. Just to think. Its correct answer is the nature of the initial reactants and the final products. Means option C is correct. This is a direct question answer. Okay. Then according to the Hess law, the nature of this enthalpy change during a chemical reaction depends upon the nature of the initial reactant and the final products. It is obvious. Reactant and product. Correct. Then what are their nature of the initial reactant and the final products? That enthalpy change depends on that. Now next question I am telling you. Hess law deals with first option, change in heat of reaction. Second, rate of reaction. Third, equilibrium constant. Fourth, influence of pressure on volume of a gas. Again I am repeating the question. Hess law deals with first option, change in heat of reaction. Second, rate of reaction. Third, equilibrium constant. Fourth, influence of pressure on volume of a gas. Just to think, after that I will tell answer and explanation. This is conceptual. Just to think. Its a correct answer is change in heat of reaction. Hess law deals with change in heat of reaction. Correct? Now explanation, I am telling you explanation means what? It is a direct, you can say, this based on law, Hess law. Okay, according to Hess law, there you know that is their initial state and final state. What is this change in heat? It is based on that. Correct? His law deals with change in heat of reaction. Okay, means initial state, final state. Now, next question I am telling you. His law of constant heat summation is based on first option E is equal to mc square. Second, conservation of mass. Third, first law of thermodynamics. Fourth, none of the above. Again, I am repeating the question. Hess law of constant heat summation is based on first option E is equal to mc square. Second option, conservation of mass. Third option, first law of thermodynamics. Fourth option, none of the above. This question also you can answer within 10 seconds. Okay. This is also these things based on concept only. Just to think. After that I will tell answer and explanation. Its correct answer is Hess law of constant heat summation is based on first law of thermodynamics. Okay, Hess law follows the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, hence correct option is option third option C, first law of thermodynamics. Next question I am reading. A hypothetical reaction A to 2B from A to 2B proceeds through following sequence of steps. It is given A to C, delta H is equal to Q1, C to D, delta H is equal to Q2, half D to B, delta H is equal to Q3. The heat of reaction is, four option is given. First option that Q1 minus Q2 plus 2Q3. Second option Q1 plus Q2 minus 2Q3. Third option Q1 plus Q2 plus 2Q3. Fourth option Q1 plus 2Q2 minus 2Q3. Again I am repeating the question. It is a good question. A hypothetical reaction A to A changed to 2B. Reactant is A, product is 2B. This is the hypothetical reaction. A hypothetical reaction A changed to 2B proceeds through following sequence of steps. It is given in question. Steps is given. Means A to C and then C to D and then half D to B. Half D to B. And A to C, that time delta H is equal to Q1. C to D, delta H is equal to Q2. And half D to B, delta H is equal to Q3. Now you have to tell the heat of reaction is first option Q1 minus Q2 plus 2Q3. Second option Q1 plus Q2 minus 2Q3. Third option Q1 plus Q2 plus 2Q3. Fourth option Q1 plus 2Q2 minus 2Q3. Just to think, it will take little time, minimum 30 seconds it will take. Okay, just to think, it is also based on concept. Here you have to think A is converting to 2B. Reactant is A and 2B is the product, and they follow the following sequence A to C and then C to D and then half D to B. Half D to B, and A to C, that time delta is equal to Q1, C to D, delta is equal to Q2, and D to half D to B, that is equal to delta is equal to Q3. Now you think, after that I will tell answer and explanation. Now I am telling the answer. Okay, actually this question is little difficult. Then its correct answer is Q1 plus Q2 plus 2Q3, means option C. Third option is correct. Q1 plus Q2 plus 2Q3, means all three steps you have to add. But here now I am telling you these things, giving explanation that this step 1 and step 2 just to add, plus again you have to add step 3rd by multiplying 2, correct, because that is given only half D is converting to B, correct. Then A and C, actually you are getting finally B, 2B, from A you are getting 2B, then path is A to C, first step, at that time delta is equal to Q1. After that C to D, second step, delta is Q2, that both you have to add. And then after that actually it's not given D to B, it is given half D to B. If it is given directly D to B, then simply you would have added. But now it is half D is converting to B, correct. It means here you have to multiply by 2, because you are getting this 2B, finally you are getting 2B. Then Q1 plus Q2, Q3 you have to add, but you have to multiply 2, because you have to get 2B, okay. Hence option C is correct, Q1 plus Q2 plus 2Q3. Now I am going to start questions based on bond energy. Question I am reading now. The bond energy, actually what I discussed question now, hypothetical reaction A to 2B, that question is actually important for examination, for both, for IIT as well as for these things, NEET, for both exam. It can be asked even for advance also, IIT advance, okay, because this is based on concept. Now that question based on bond energy I am going to read. The bond energy of H2, the bond energy of hydrogen gas H2 is 436.4 kilojoule. This means that first option, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to break one bond in H2 molecules to give 2 atoms of hydrogen. Second, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to dissociate 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to form H atoms. Third, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to dissociate 3.01 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of hydrogen. And last option, 436.4 kilojoule of electrical energy is required to dissociate 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to form H plus and H minus ions. This is a hard question. Okay. Now again I am repeating. The bond energy of H2 is 436.4 kilojoule. This means that 4 option is there. First option, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to break one bond in H2 molecules to give 2 atoms of hydrogen. Second, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to dissociate 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to form H atoms. Now third, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to dissociate 3.01 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of hydrogen. Fourth, 436.4 kilojoule of electrical energy is required to dissociate 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to form H plus and H minus ions. Just to think. It is also based on concept. You can answer it within 20 seconds. But it is full of concept and very, very important question. Just to think. After that I will tell answer and explanation. Now I am telling the answer. Actually, question is the bond energy of H2 is 436.4 kilojoule. This means that, answer I am telling you, 436.4 kilojoule of heat is required to dissociate 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to form H atoms. 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules means 1 mole. 1 mole of H2 to form H atoms. This is actually correct answer. Option B is correct. Correct? And its main answer I told you that bond energy is the energy required required for dissociation of 1 mole of bonds, not only 1 molecule. You remember, 1 mole of here H2, okay, not molecule. The bond energy is the energy required for dissociation of 1 mole of bonds. Then 1 mole means Avogadro number, means 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, okay, into H atoms. 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of H2 to form H atoms. This is the correct answer. Option B is correct. Next question I am reading. In the dissociation of methane, CH4 gas, first option, bond energies of all the CH bonds are equal. Second, no two bonds have same bond energy. Third, two bonds have equal energy. Fourth option, three bonds have equal energy. Again, I am reading the question. In the dissociation of CH4 gas, bond energies of all the CH bonds are equal. Second, no two bonds have same bond energy. Third, two bonds have equal energy. Fourth, three bonds have equal energy. Just to think, actually this is again full of concept and very, very important questions for both examination, for medical as well as engineering. Okay. This at least in the main, this question is suitable to ask, NEET or main. Just to think, again I am repeating the question. In the dissociation of methane gas CH4, first option, bond energy of all the CH bonds are equal. Second, no two bonds have same bond energy. Third, two bonds have equal energy. Fourth, three bonds have equal energy. Just to think, after that I will tell correct answer and explanation. Now I am telling answer. Okay. Its correct answer is no two bonds have same bond energy. You remember, in methane four bonds are there. Four bonds, CH4. No two bonds have same bond energy. Okay. This is very, very important. Actually, all the four CH bonds in CH4 have different bond dissociation energy. It looks like that all bonds have same energy, but not 100% same. Okay. All the four CH bonds in CH4 have different bond dissociation energy. Now, I am going to discuss questions based on spontaneous and non-spontaneous reactions. Again, all questions based on spontaneous and non-spontaneous reactions are very, very important. Now, question I am reading. A spontaneous process is defined as a process which, first option, takes place instantaneously. Second, takes place by itself. Third, needs some initiation like heat, electricity, etc. Fourth, takes place by itself by initiation. Again, I am repeating the question. A spontaneous process is defined as a process which takes place, first option, which takes place instantaneously. Second, takes place by itself. Third, needs some initiation like heat, electricity, etc. Fourth, takes place by itself or by initiation. This question is also very good. It will take hardly 10 seconds. It is again full of concept. Okay. Just you think, after that I will tell the answer. Okay. Its correct answer is takes place by itself or by initiation. A spontaneous process is defined as a process which takes place by itself or by initiation. Other three options means takes place instantaneously is not correct. Takes place by itself, it is partially correct. Third option was there, needs some initiation like heat, electricity, etc. That is also partially correct. But fourth option, now it is a combination of second and third. Means it takes place by itself or by initiation. This is actually correct answer. Option D is correct. A spontaneous process takes place by itself or by initiation. Next question I am going to read. Which one of the following processes is a non-spontaneous? First, burning of coal. Second, flow of heat from a hot end to cold end. Third, lifting of water by an electric pump into the reservoir at the top of the house. Fourth, reactions between hydrogen and oxygen to form water. Again, I am repeating the question. Which one of the following process is a non-spontaneous? First, burning of coal. Second, flow of heat from hot end to cold end. Third, lifting of water by an electric pump into the reservoir at the top of the house. Fourth, reaction between hydrogen and oxygen to form water. This question is also a very good question. Okay, this type of question may be asked in examination. Then this will take hardly 10 seconds, hardly, just to think. After that, I will tell correct answer and explanation. Just to think. Its correct answer is lifting of water by an electric pump into the reservoir at the top of the house. Means option C is correct. Other options are not correct. Burning of coal. Burning of coal is not, you can say, non-spontaneous. Flow of heat from a hot end to cold end. This is also not non-spontaneous. Correct? This fourth option was reaction between hydrogen and oxygen to form water. This is also you can say this you have to find out which one of the following is a non-spontaneous. Means you have to do some work. Only then that thing will happen. Reaction will happen. Then we can see out of these four, option C, we can see lifting of water by an electric pump into the reservoir at the top of the house. This is actually non-spontaneous because without the electric pump, water can't be sent by own. If anything is going by own, that is actually spontaneous. But you can see lifting of water, you can say to the reservoir at the top. This is not, it will go by own. You have to do something. Here electric pump is required. Correct? Hence correct answer is option C. Okay, this you should remember. This is a good question. The process C, that is cannot go by itself. Okay, after initiation also it will not go by itself. You have to do some work through electric pump. Okay, next question I am reading. Actually, it is very clear that now for lifting water you have required some special. It will not go by your own. Correct? Always non-spontaneous means you have to do something extra. Only then that reaction will take place. But in here you can see all four options. Most difficult work is lifting of water. It will not go by own from the, you can say, this down to up. Now next question I am reading. If E, R and D respectively the tendency for minimum energy, tendency for maximum randomness and overall driving force, and arrows represent the direction and magnitude of these tendencies. Which one of the following applies correctly to the reaction? Reaction is given 2HGO solid. It is giving product 2Hg liquid plus O2 gas. Okay, and now 4 option is given. Okay, here again I am repeating, try to understand the question. Question is long and again it is a tough question, fit for the you can say advanced, IIT advanced. Now I am reading again, just try to understand the question. If E, R and D, capital E, capital R and capital D represent respectively tendency for minimum energy, that is the E, and R tendency for maximum randomness, R, and D means driving force, and arrow, actually in given a 4 option arrow is there, and arrow represent the direction and magnitude of this tendency, whether it is less or more. Which one of the following applies correctly to the reaction? Reaction is given 2HGO solid. It is giving 2Hg liquid plus O2 gas. Now 4 option is given. Arrow sign is there. That is telling about the tendency and magnitude. Then first option is, you have to consider the reaction, then you can answer. First option is tendency is towards E and also towards R and also towards D. All 3 tendencies are there. Towards E, towards R, towards D. E means related to energy. R means randomness. D means driving force. This is the first option. Second option also, actually they have given in the term of all 3, E, R and D. Remember, second option tendency is towards E and R is opposite. R is opposite of E, and again D again this tendency is towards D, means 2 are tendency towards E and D, and actually 2 tendencies are for E and D, and one is opposite. R is opposite, randomness is opposite. And third again I am in the term of 3 they have given. Now E is reverse, opposite. R is tendency, more tendency towards R and also towards D. Now E is opposite and 2 are have maximum tendency. Okay. And D, now 2 are opposite. E are opposite, R is opposite. Now all 3 are opposite. E, R, D opposite. Okay. Then here again I am repeating the question. Question you have to understand carefully and only then you can answer. Again I am reading the question. If R and D, if E, R and D, E, capital E, capital R, capital D represents respectively the tendency for minimum energy. E represent tendency for minimum energy, and R is for tendency for maximum randomness, and D means overall driving force, and arrows represent the direction and magnitude of this tendency. Which one of the following applies correctly to the reaction? Reaction is given 2HGO solid. It is giving 2Hg liquid plus O2 gas. Okay. In question you can see option. Okay. Then by seeing question it is given, that is the first option is all three are in the same direction. Tendency is in the same direction, and all three E, R, D, and in B, E and R is in the same direction. R is opposite, and third option E is opposite and R and D in the same direction, and D, E is opposite. E, R, D, all three are opposite. Just to think and answer. It will take around 1 minute time. 1 minute. Okay. Just to think question, you can, in question this you see, then you can answer. Think first, after that I will tell correct answer and explanation. Its correct answer is, just to think, it will take around 1 minute. I told you that it will take question, you have to think, then answer. Okay, I will tell you, just to think at least 10-15 minutes more second. Now I am telling the answer. Option C is correct. Option C is correct. Means E is opposite direction and R and D in the same direction. Then E means here energy, minimum energy. For this reaction, given reaction, what actually product is giving, then energy will be minimum. It is giving product. Correct? It is giving product. Energy will be less. And D, R and D, R is randomness, because 2HGO, one molecule is converting into 2Hg and O2, means now it is increasing. Number of moles are increasing, means you can tell the randomness is increasing, entropy is increasing. That's why here you can say in option R, randomness is, tendency of randomness will be more. Okay, and driving force, overall driving force tendency is more, because it is going towards right direction, means product side, but energy will be less. That's why it is opposite. Okay, hence correct answer is option C. Okay, further I am telling you explanation. The given reaction absorbs heat, correct, and is accompanied by increase of randomness, because that mercury oxide 2HgO, it is absorbing heat, correct, because it requires more energy. That's why it is absorbing, and after that molecule is breaking, means randomness is increasing and driving force is also increasing, because it is going towards forward direction, product side. Okay. Now this question is tough. Okay. But you can answer it by on the concept. It is full of concept. Now next question I am telling that is based on entropy and free energy change. Entropy and free energy change. Question I am reading. For a reversible isothermal process, isothermal, remember it, for a reversible isothermal process in equilibrium, the entropy change is given by the expression. First, delta S is equal to T upon Q reversible. Second, delta S is equal to Q reversible upon T. T is temperature. Q reversible is Q means heat. REV means reversible. Third option, delta S is mean entropy change. Third option, delta S is equal to delta V upon T. Fourth option, delta S is equal to delta E upon T. Again I am repeating the question. For a reversible reaction, isothermal reaction, in equilibrium, the entropy change is given by the expression. First option, delta S is equal to T upon Q reversible. Second, delta S is equal to Q reversible upon T. Third option, delta S is equal to delta V upon T. Fourth option, delta S is equal to delta E upon T. This you can answer within 5 seconds. Okay, if you are remembering the expression, quickly you can answer. Just to think, after that I will tell answer and explanation. Its correct answer is delta S is equal to Q reversible divided by T, means temperature. Heat, Q means heat, that is in the case of equilibrium means when a reaction is at equilibrium, and that is a reversible isothermal process. Reaction is reversible isothermal. Then QREV means heat change, that is at reversible condition. And isothermal, actually isothermal means temperature is constant, but whatever be temperature constant, you have to mention 28 degree, 30 degree, 35 degree, whatever be. Then delta S means change in entropy. Change in entropy means randomness. How much actually there is a entropy, you should know, that is the measure of disorderliness. Okay, then option B, delta S is equal to Q reversible by T, that is correct. Okay, delta S is equal to Q reversible by T, that is the correct. Okay, this is the direct formula. Delta S is equal to Q reversible divided by T. You have to not apply any mind concept, you can apply because direct formula is there. How much at that temperature, how much heat is absorbed, or this thing, some change will be there, heat. Okay, then that is important, divided by time, because after absorbing, you can say this at particular temperature, after absorbing heat only some change will take place. Okay, either absorbing something, it will happen, Q will change. That's why the question is for a reversible isothermal process in equilibrium, the entropy change is given by the delta S is equal to Q reversible divided by T. This you remember. Numerical is based on this formula only. Next question. An equilibrium mixture of ice and water is held at a constant pressure. On heating, some ice melts for the system. Now 4 options are there. Again I am reading the question. An equilibrium mixture of ice and water is held at constant pressure. On heating, some ice melts for the system. Now first option, free energy increases. Second, entropy increases. Third, entropy decreases. Fourth, entropy, fourth option is given same. I think it should be different, but in question they have given same. First option is free energy increases. Second option, entropy increases. And third option is enthalpy decreases. Now correct, it is entropy. Two entropy term is there. B is entropy increases and D is entropy decreases and C is enthalpy decreases. Correct, question is correct. Again I am reading the question. An equilibrium mixture of ice and water is held at constant pressure. On heating, some ice melts for the system. Now option is given, free energy increases. Second, entropy increases. Third, enthalpy decreases. And fourth, entropy decreases. Just to think, this question is full of concept, but you can answer maximum by 10 seconds. Just to think, after that I will tell answer and explanation. Its correct answer is entropy increases. Option B is correct. Why? Because when you will supply the heat, then ice arrangement will disturb. Okay, it will turn to the liquid. Ice melts. Means now original structure of ice change. Means randomness increased. Means it became disorder. Then I told you entropy measures the disorderliness. It tells about the randomness. That's why option B, entropy increases for the system. That is the correct answer. Okay. This is actually based on concept only. Melting is accompanied by increase of entropy. This is the correct answer. Hence, option B is correct. Now, next question I am telling you. Entropy change of a system and its surrounding in equilibrium. First option increases. Second option decreases. Third option remains constant. Fourth option either increases or decreases. This question is very good. Again I am repeating the question. Entropy change of a system and its surrounding. Both you have to consider together. Entropy change of a system and its surrounding in equilibrium. First option increases. Second option decreases. Third option remains constant. Fourth option either increases or decreases. Just to think, this is full of concept, but you can answer quickly if you are knowing the concept. Already I have discussed this concept. Just to think, after that I will tell answer and explanation. Just to think. Now its correct answer is this things entropy. Actually, question is entropy change of a system and its surroundings in equilibrium. Actually, answer is remains constant. Answers option C is correct. Entropy change of a system and its surrounding in equilibrium. Here you have to understand both are in equilibrium. Then in that situation, entropy remains constant. Okay. Entropy change of system and surrounding in equilibrium remains constant. Okay, but for universe, you should remember entropy change for the universe is increasing towards maximum. Energy remains constant. For universe I am talking about. For universe, energy increases towards maximum, but entropy and energy remains constant. But here case is different. You should not confuse. Here you are talking about the equilibrium position, system and its surrounding. Then it remains constant. Next question I am telling you, for the reaction 2SO2 plus O2, it is giving 2SO3 gas. The entropy in this reaction, 4 options are given. Entropy increases, first option. Second, decreases. Third, remains unchanged. Fourth, change cannot be predicted. Again, I am repeating the question. Question is very good. For the reaction 2SO2 gas plus O2, it is forming 2SO3 2SO3 gas. The entropy in this reaction, first option increases, second option decreases, third option remains unchanged, fourth option change cannot be predicted. This question is again full of concept. You can answer it within 10 seconds if you are knowing the concept. Just to think, after that I will tell the answer. Its a correct answer is entropy decreases. Entropy of this reaction decreases. Why? Why decreases? Means option B is correct. Why? Then now here you can see. Here 2SO2 plus O2. Here 3 moles are there. And now 3 moles are giving 2SO3. 2 moles decreasing. Number of moles is decreasing. Means decreasing means these are coming back. They are becoming ordered. Okay. Less randomness, less we can tell, because it's coming back. And opposite will, in opposite case, when 2SO3 will break, it will give 2SO2 plus O2. That time entropy will increase. But in reverse case, because from 2SO2 plus O2, 2SO3 is forming. Less number of moles. From 3, 2 are forming. From 3 moles, 2 moles are forming. Hence, this entropy will decrease. Always remember, when it will be disturbed, entropy will increase. When it will not disturb, it will come back. Then it will decrease. Okay. Then here, correct answer I told you, entropy of this reaction decreases. Okay, you must remember that there is only one gaseous product while there are two reactants. In reactant side two reactants are there, but in product side only one. There is only one gaseous product while there are two reactants. Then number of moles of product is less than number of reactant. Both are in gas. Correct? This is the correct answer. What I told you, number of moles decides. If it is less, product is less, then it will decrease. Entropy will decrease. Okay. Reverse case, if it is reverse case, then it will decrease. But in this case, it will decrease. One more question I want to discuss today. A reaction has both delta H and delta S negative. A reaction has both delta H and delta S negative. The rate of reaction, four options are given. First option, increases with decrease of temperature. Second, increases with first option is increases with increase of temperature. Second, increases with decrease of temperature. And two more options are there. Third option is remains unaffected by change of temperature. Fourth, cannot be predicted for change in temperature. Cannot be predicted for change in temperature. Four options are there. Again, I am repeating the question. A reaction has both delta H and delta S negative. The rate of reaction, first option, increases with increase of temperature. Second, increases with decrease of temperature. Third option, remains unaffected by change of temperature. Fourth, cannot be predicted for change in temperature. This is also full of concept. It will take 30-second time to tell the maximum 30 seconds. Okay, just to think. After that I will tell you answer and explanation. This is based on concept. Okay, delta H and delta S both are negative. That you have to think. Just to think. After that I will tell correct answer. Its correct answer is increases with decrease of temperature. Increases with decrease of temperature. Why? Actually, you should not answer directly on the basis of chemical kinetics, because here they have given the condition. If they would have not given condition, then first option was correct. Means increases with increase of temperature. This is a general concept. Rate of reaction increases with increase of temperature, that is general. But here condition is given. A reaction has both delta H and delta S negative. The delta H negative means what? Heat will evolved. Heat will evolved. Hence more heat is not required. Because in this reaction automatically heat is evolving. Then why you will give the heat? Correct? Then this actually, by this concept you can decide the answer. Then in this case less heat is required. Less heat is required. And delta S negative. Delta S negative means what? Delta S positive means these things, entropy is increasing, but here entropy is not increasing. Here delta is giving you, you can say, your main these things hint that increases means rate of reaction increases with decrease of temperature. By seeing this both condition, you can tell. Okay, it's a very good question, and you should not forget G, free energy relation is there. I am giving explanation that delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Okay, this is the free energy, and free energy must be negative. Free energy must be negative. Then here you can see delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Then here you can see negative delta H. Negative delta H favors the process. Negative delta H. And negative delta S opposes the process. Negative delta S opposes the process. It is negative, because when you will heat, then it should increase. Entropy change should increase, but now this delta S is negative, means it is opposing the reaction. Then delta H, negative delta H favors the process. Negative delta S opposes the process. This you remember. If temperature is decreased, then opposing factor decreases. Opposing factor decreases. If temperature is decreased, means entropy will also decrease. Entropy will also decrease, and these things also. And delta H, you don't want too much, because in this reaction delta H is negative. Then why will you supply the heat? Hence, this is the main point. If temperature is decreased, opposite factor decreases, hence rate of reaction increases. In general way, because a reaction is exothermic, then you need not require to supply the heat. Correct? And if you will not supply the heat, then what will happen? That their randomness will be not more, entropy will be not more. Correct? Here you should remember that negative delta S opposes the process. Then delta in the reaction, in the formula, delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Then delta H is negative. Delta H is negative, and delta S is also negative. The negative positive. Correct? Delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Then delta H is negative minus T into delta S. Delta S is also negative according to the question. Then minus plus. Then if delta H is more, then finally delta G will be negative. Correct? Hence reaction will be delta G is negative, means favorable. Hence rate of reaction increases. This question is full of concept and difficult also. But if you are knowing the concept, 10-second time is sufficient to answer. Okay. Today I am stopping only here. Next class, again I will continue with the same, you can say, topic. Questions will be based on entropy and free energy. More questions are there, and all questions are very, very important for examination point of view. Thank you.